And frankly, the economics in the Montney it's a world-class resource, and the economics are world-class.
Welcome to the NAI 500 CEO interview program, where the senior management from select listed companies will share their insights with the audience about their company's growth potential. In this episode, we had the opportunity to speak to Rob Zakresky, the CEO of Leucrotta Exploration, a TSX venture-listed company with a trading symbol of LXE. Leucrotta Exploration is a Montney-focused junior oil and gas producer in northeast British Columbia, Canada. A few highlights our readers should know before watching the interview. Montney formation in BC is a world-class resource with the combination of large-scale and exceptional returns. The company has massive resource to provide additional upsides for accelerated development and exposure to higher commodity prices. The company recently announced its Mica pad development project that estimates production will reach 30,000 BOE per day within a 5-year time frame from the current level of 3,000 BOE per day. Leucrotta has strong financial position with no debt. The management team is seasoned with successful track records in growing energy companies from small to be sold to bigger companies in the past. The company reached its 52-week high in the beginning of February 2021. Since then, it has drifted down to 60 cents before the excitement is back again, and now trading around 75-cent range with oil price over $70 US dollar per barrel. If you enjoy our video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay alert about future content.
Hi, Rob. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine here in Vancouver also. So welcome to the show. And maybe you can just begin by telling us about your company, a bit of an overview of your company here.
Sure. So I'm Rob Zakresky, and I've successfully grown 5 public companies prior to this one. The last one was Leucrotta that we sold in 2014, and then we spun out Leucrotta, which is the current entity here. We've taken 7 years building, putting the land position together, delineating land base at Leucrotta, and now we're just in that position now where we're going to take the company forward, growing massively year over year over the next few years as we develop the Montney, and that value should be brought forward to all our shareholders from this point. Our development, which it goes from where we are, the Mica development, about 3,000 BOE a day, just slightly less than that right now, to 30,000 over a 5-year period, is mechanically built out. We've delineated the lands, the resources there. And so we have $58 million in cash right now, and we're going to use that cash to drill. We'll have to add a midstreamer to help us build out some of the infrastructure as we go forward, but it's de-risked and it's kind of ready to go. And we're sitting on a massive resource, like TCFs of gas and billions of barrels of oil in place. And when we get to 30,000, we'll be cash flowing about $200 million. If we use today's market multiples, 4 to 5, we'll be $800 billion entity. If you look at where we are today, we have 58 million in cash. You back it out of the market cap, and our enterprise value is about $115 million. So there's tons of upside for early stage investors to get in right now. And the information flow from this point forward should be fairly strong. We're completing other zones, kicking off the drilling program, probably sign a midstream deal in the next while. So there's going to be lots of news flow for the company over the next 6 months, and then on from there over the next few years, realistically.
Yeah, that's exciting times ahead. You mentioned a bit about your production currently and the growth profile. So can you tell us more about how you're going to grow from your current 3,000 BOE per day into your ultimate goal?
Yeah, so the Mica project's about 30 sections of our 240 sections. And what we're looking at doing this year is we're drilling a 3-well test pad, 3 or 4, and we're using high intensity fracs. So original wells were 1 mile, about 40 fracs. We're moving to 1.5 mile wells and about 130 fracs from 40. And we've seen other operators have tremendous results with this. So we do the test pad this year. We have the infrastructure in place to flow it all through our own infrastructure, and that will cost the test pad about $30 million to get that done. And then we start into next year into the development. Assuming that's successful, which we're highly confident it will be, Then we move into 12 wells next year, and we build out the infrastructure. Next year is a big year as far as the spend goes. It's about $150 million, including drilling. But we've had lots of expressions of interest from midstreamers to pick up the facility side of it, which is about 50 million of that, so we can focus our dollars on just wrapping up production. Once we get through the end of 2022, it'll be 10,000 BOE a day, and then cash flow is much higher, and we just use cash flow, moderate debt, to build out it from 10,000 to 30,000 over the next few years after that. So it's fairly straightforward. It's just all in the execution.
Great to hear. So hopefully it will coincide with the growing and steadily growing oil price out there too. So maybe you can also talk about your recent press release, because you talk about some data here. So your company recently press released some resource data. Maybe anything that you'd like to share with us here?
Yeah, so we have a resource study over our whole land base, and there's 17.8 billion barrels of oil in place over the land base, and about 17 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, excluding all the liquids that you'd get with the natural gas. So it's a tremendous, tremendous world-class resource that we're sitting on. We've delineated big portions of the land, and we're just starting right now to get to the point to develop that.
So this is an interesting question for some of the audience here, because during the downtimes of the oil price in the past few years, a lot of especially junior companies in the energy space in Canada go under because they couldn't service the debt. They've had financial trouble. How are you able to achieve what you do now with no debt here?
Well, we've always run operations really lean. We had such a tremendous asset base. We've been able over the years to sell small portions of our land for big dollars. So, a few years ago, we sold 4 sections for $80 million. Recently, we sold 10 additional sections for $30 million, and we still have 240 sections left of land. So we've been able to stay lean from a capital operations and operating, and from a G&A perspective, take the project forward, and now we're ready to press go. We're cashed up, and if we need additional cash, our project's only 30 of the 240 sections of land. So I'm confident if need be, we could sell off little bits of land, continue the capital, go forward, and keep the debt as low as possible through the growth profile here.
And what do you think of the whole industry here? Do you think there are good times ahead in the Western Canadian energy space here for other companies too?
Well, they certainly are for all the Montney players. It's a world-class asset. There's multiple companies developing the asset. We're able to use or watch their technology, refine our technology, and that's one of the reasons why we haven't developed in the last couple of years, watching the technology develop and move it forward. But just the asset itself is positioned incredibly well. So all the operators in it are going to benefit from future LNG. They're benefiting from rail cars of propane, butane going offshore. The pipelines are opening up quite a bit. And frankly, the economics in the Montney it's a world-class resource, and the economics are world-class. So Canada is really opening up to that play in particular, and then some of the other resource plays behind that are following as well.
Great. In summary, so what you recommend and why you think investors should consider investing in Leucrotta these days, or for the future growth of the company?
Well, right now, we've de-risked the whole asset. So we accumulated it. We spent 7 years accumulating it. We've spent time delineating, de-risking, and we're just ready to kick off right now. And for stocks in the public markets, a lot of times they aren't recognized till this point. So the stock has not performed well over the last year because of COVID, and we're now just kicking it off. We're cashed up, and we think investors will be able to get in now and hopefully get that ramp from where our EV is 115 million now to 800 to $1 billion over the course of the next 5 years. There's also going to be a tremendous amount of news flow over the next 6 months to 18 months. We believe the stock will perform well with the amount of news flow and the high intensity wells that we're going to drill. There's going to be a huge focus on that in the markets in addition to that. So that's the main reason we think this is the perfect opportunity, and why you should buy now and get in early as an early stage investor.
Yeah, so it looks like investors should start following Motley, especially, of course, your company, Leucrotta, in the next little while here. So again, thank you for your insights and sharing your story with us here today.
Thank you. Have an awesome day.
Thank you for your time, Rob.
Take care.
If you enjoy our video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay alert of our future content.